What up, guys? Your boy Quake, and the most famous person to date so far, at least, has come forward to testify in the Diddy trial. And of course, we're talking about Kid Cudi. He was dragged into this a while ago when Cassie made her lawsuit. In Cassie's lawsuit, she alleged that Diddy blew up Kid Cudi's car because he was jealous Cassie was dating him. So Kid Cudi has been called forward to testify, and he is doing just that, and he did that today, revealing all of the details. So let's go over exactly what was said in court. It starts out like this. Next witness, we calls Scott Mescudi, which is Kid Cudi's real name. Kid Cudi takes the witness stand in a leather jacket, white shirt, and blue jeans. AUSA Johnson says, "What did you do for work?" Kid Cudi says, "I'm an actor and a musician known as Kid Cudi." "Who is this?" She shows a photo. He says, "Cassie." Kid Cudi then says, "We dated in 2011. Who else was she involved with?" Kid Cudi says, "Sean Combs." "What did you know about their status?" "That she and Sean Combs had some problems and that they weren't dating anymore." Then they say, "In December 2011, did law enforcement respond to your home?" Kid Cudi said, "Yes, I had a break-in. Cassie called me at 5:30 or 6 a.m. She said Sean Combs had found out about us. She asked me to pick her up, so I did." "Yeah." She said, "Why?" Kid Cudi said she was worried. Then she says, "What was her demeanor?" "Very stressed and worried." "Where did you go?" "The Sunset Marquise." "Why?" "I thought it was safe off the radar." "Who else did you speak with?" Kid Cudi says, "Capricorn Clark. She sounded near tears." "What did she say?" "That Sean Combs is in the car near my house." Combs' lawyer, Brian Steele, yells out, "Objection." The judge overrules it. Then they continue and said, "You called Sean Combs?" Kid Cudi says, "I did. He said, I'm over here waiting for you. When you arrived, what did the outside look like?" "Pretty normal." "Any security camera?" "Yes, but I found out they weren't working." "But the security cameras had been moved." "Did you move them?" "No." "What did you see inside your home?" "Gifts were open, some stuff I got from Chanel, and my dog was locked up in the bathroom." "How did you usually leave your dog?" "I left him roaming." "How long had you had your dog?" 3 years. "What changes were behavior of your dog after the break-in?" "Jittery, on edge all the time." Now, this is where things get weird. I mean, if somebody breaks to your house and your dog is jittery on edge the whole time and stays like that after the break-in too, that guy did something to the dog, and I don't even want to think what's going through my mind, but you guys can use your imagination. Continuing on, Kid Cudi says, "I got back in and called Sean Combs again. I was looking for him. I wanted to fight him, you know." "Did he answer?" "Yeah, he said I'm on my way." I thought to myself, Combs' lawyer again says, "Objection." Judge says, "Grounds." Combs' lawyer says, "Non-responsive." The judge says, "Overruled." Judge says, "Ask a new question." Then the AUSA says, "When you saw Cassie, how did she seem?" Kid Cudi says, "Depressed." "Did you see Cassie in Connecticut?" "Yes, she needed it." "Did Mr. Combs call you?" "Yes, he hit me a few times." "Hit?" "Called me." He basically clarifies that. "What did you say?" "That I didn't want to talk with him. He broke into my house, hurt my dog." "Did you and Miss Ventura break up?" "Yes." "What about your car?" "My dog's babysitter called me and told me my car was on fire." This is crazy. So now we got confirmation 100% from Kid Cudi himself testifying. AUSA says, "Where were you?" "At a relative of my ex-girlfriend." "Where did you go?" "To my house, 8925 Hollywood Hills Road." "Let me show you 6 pictures. Do you recognize?" Kid Cudi says, "Yes, my Porsche." "That's the damage to my Porsche from the Molotov cocktail." AUSA says, "Who took those photos?" "Chip, a good friend and collaborator." "What's depicted here?" "The hole they cut in the roof of my car to put in the Molotov cocktail." "What was your reaction to your car being set on fire?" Kid Cudi said, "What the fuck?" Objection. Judge overruled it. Then the judge called for a break, and then the jurors eventually came back. The judge says, "Will you finish the witness of today?" AUSA says, "Yes, though the cross of Mr. Kaplan was 3 times long that we thought." Jury was entering. AUSA says, "Was the damage on your car present before the call from the dog sitter?" "No." "Did you think it was accidental or intentional?" Kid Cudi said, "Intentional." "Where did you last see Miss Ventura?" "At the Soho house. I reached out to Sean Combs and said, 'Let's talk. This is getting out of hand.'" This is crazy. Sean Combs' lawyer says, "Can we have a sidebar?" The judge says, "Do you have an objection?" Sean's lawyer says, "Yes." Judge sustained, disregard, and move on. AUSA continues, says, who set up the meeting at Soho House? Kid Cudi says, D-Rock and my manager. What was Mr. Combs doing? Standing there like a Marvel supervillain. He laughed. He said, we were homies. You know that is my girl. AUSA said, what did you say? I thought you had broken up. Then Sean Combs offered me water twice. It was weird, Sean Combs being so calm. What did Cassie say? That we have fallen in love. Things happened. What did you say to Mr. Combs? What about my car? He said, I don't know what you're talking about. I walked away. Did you see Sean Combs later? A few years later at Soho House, he said, I'm just sorry for all that bullshit. I was surprised, so I found peace with it. AUSA, no further questions at this time. And then the judge calls for Diddy's lawyer, Mr. Steele, to cross-examine him. And I'm not going to go over every single detail of the cross-examination. Basically, Diddy's lawyer is making it seem that Cassie manipulated Kid Cudi into a relationship, and the same thing Cassie did to Diddy, playing both these guys against each other and turning them against each other. That's what Diddy's lawyer is saying, and that it's not Diddy's fault. There's no DNA. He was calm when they met, that there was no violence. And then they also say, hey, like there was no forced entry in the house. You got in there. Yeah, the dog was in the bathroom. Not a big deal. But they were just like, hey, this guy Diddy didn't do this stuff. He was calm with you. He never put your hands on you and stuff like that. Then the prosecutors interview Kid Cudi again and basically reiterate that, hey, why did you leave this relationship? And Kid Cudi said, listen, things were getting out of hand, and that Cassie told me that Diddy would put his hands on her, and that if I kept dating her, things would escalate and things would get worse, so he just distanced himself. And that's basically it. That's all Kid Cudi did when he took the stand. However, a lot of headlines are being made about Diddy potentially doing some weird things to Kid Cudi's dog, because the dog, since that visit, has never been the same. So clearly something happened to that dog, which is very weird. And of course, burning someone's car, not saying 100% it was Diddy, but burning someone's car for a relationship is like movie stuff. And Kid Cudi calling him a Marvel character standing there is more movie stuff. And of course, 50 Cent, he's been weighing in on the Diddy trial every single second. I mean, this is the guy that you get to see react to everything when it comes to this Diddy trial. And he posted a photo of him looking at his phone, smiling. And the caption, he said, what the fuck Diddy did to Kid Cudi's dog over the girl, man, LOL. And yeah, that's the question there, is what happened to that dog. It is insane. So I don't know. What do you guys think of the situation so far? Really, this trial has just been like, hey, one side is saying this guy, did these things, but he, everybody consented to it. He didn't force anybody to do it. And that Cassie is a manipulator and just wants money and all this stuff. And then, of course, the other side is accusing Diddy of being a monster and all this and forcing people to do these crazy things. They revealed photos of all the crazy stuff Diddy has in his house. But, hey, it's not a crime to be a freak, okay? You can know 100% that Diddy is a freak. He is guilty of that, but if he never forced anybody to do these things and people did it willingly, then there's no law against that. It's really the line where it gets really blurry is forcing somebody to do these things when they don't want to do it. So that's Diddy's defense that, hey, nobody got forced to do this. Everybody joined in and had fun at these Diddy parties, while the other side is saying they were forced. They were dragged amongst their will. They were threatened, all this stuff, including Kid Cudi. So let me know what you guys think of this testimony from Kid Cudi. And a lot of people are throwing it out there that Kid Cudi's a snitch because he went up there. No, he got dragged into this because of Cassie, and rightfully so. If Cassie feels like, hey, this is clear evidence, then Kid Cudi is going to testify and help as much as he can. I don't think it's snitching, but obviously there's people out there that think, hey, this is snitching in a way. So let me know what you guys think of that as well, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. That's it for today's video. If you guys want to support this channel further, you can do so at patreon.com/diverse mentality. For just $3 a month, you can get my videos uncut and raw the way I intended them to be, but couldn't because of YouTube. Plus, you also get access to our Discord community, where we have a great community talking about hip-hop and various other things. It's very dope. So only $3 a month. I'd really appreciate the support. Also, follow us on social media at QuakeGW and at Diverse Mentality. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.